Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you listen to us from, straight from the 909. It's Mark.
Miggity Mac, Daddy.
Ali.
What up?
Myself, Nesquick. And together, that's hip-hop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. It really does mean a lot. We're talking about the Kid Phenoms, the original OGs, who comprised of Kris Mac Daddy Kelly and Kris Daddy Mac Smith, who brought youthful energy and playful charisma to the early 90s hip-hop. Discovered by Jermaine Dupri, the Atlanta duo raised to fame as teenagers with their infectious hit Jump. Out of here. A track defined by its upbeat, party-starting vibe and signature call and response track. Their lyrical style blended catchy, repetitive hooks with confident rhymes that embraced fun rather than gritty street tales, making their music relatable to younger audiences. They were known for their unconventional fashion trend, wearing their clothes backwards, which became a cultural phenomenon. Their legacy of Kris Kross, it's really lies in their ability to break barriers for young artists in the game. Their debut album, Totally Krossed Out, which is what we're covering today, went multi-platinum, cementing their place, 4 times platinum actually, cementing their place in hip-hop history. They proved that kids could be legitimate rap stars in the industry, dominated by older artists. Despite their relatively short time in the spotlight, they left an indelible mark in 90s pop culture and influenced future youth-driven hip-hop artists. Their fun-loving style and crossover appeal made them trailblazers in bridging hip-hop and mainstream pop audiences. A lot of people think when we talk about like Atlanta, you know, the South, the biggest guys that came out of there, like Outkast early.
Mm-hmm.
Kris Kross gets that.
They were first.
They get that. That's crazy. We're discussing their debut studio album, Totally Krossed Out, released on March 31st, 1992 by Rough House Records and Columbia Records. It was produced by and largely written by Jermaine Dupri, peace to him, and Joe Butcher Nicole. This album was a huge success for the duo, selling over, like we were saying, 4 million copies and reaching number 1 on the Billboard 200 and the top R&B and hip hop albums chart, where it remained for 2 and 6 non-consecutive weeks. That's quite a bit of like time being on there. 4 singles were released out of this, including Jump and Warm It Up. Both reached number 1 on the hot rap singles, and I Miss the Bus and It's a Shame. The album was certified 4 times platinum again, and it lasted 39 minutes and 33 seconds. So relatively a little bit
easy listen,
right? Yeah, very right in that pocket. 40 minutes. This duo, very iconic. You're talking about charisma, like these kids got it. They got it.
Seriously. Yeah. I mean, to the point where, you know, Jermaine Dupri, he discovered them in a mall.
Yeah.
So he was just at the mall and he sees these 2 kids and girls just following them. They go in the Foot Locker buying cakes, walking around food court. And Jermaine's like, who are these kids? He's like,
who are these kids with swag like
he's
that?
like, maybe they from some Nickelodeon show I don't know about. I don't know.
Are they famous or something?
He saw that and said, I got to see what's going on. So he goes up to him like, yo, what do y'all do? They said it just like this. We don't do nothing. We just chill and get girls. Like
we're cool like that.
He said they weren't nice about it. And they weren't nice about it. He was like, he said, we don't do nothing. He said, just like that, we don't do nothing. I'm like, y'all don't do nothing? Oh, no, y'all, nope.
Yeah.
I got to turn this into, he said, I saw the star in them.
Yeah.
I said, they don't rap, I'll make them rappers. Because the star effect, they got it.
They got it. Yeah.
That's literally how it started. They weren't rappers, they weren't anything. They were just 2 kids run around the mall just with girls following
Imagine
him.
that's the way you came up. Like you just had that. You were just dripping.
Just had it.
Swag. Like
you was so swagged out, not famous at all. And yeah, he said, I saw that, and he said, that was it for me.
And this is, Jermaine Dupri is one of these guys in the hip hop community who's known to be working with young artists.
Yes.
Like Usher, Lil Bow Wow, Kris Kross.
The Brat was young when he was with her, when working with her.
Correct. Yeah. So he's if you were to you saw a talent in a young artist, the only guy I would go to who would know what to do with this, I would call up Jermaine Dupri. I'm like, what do we do? Like, how do we work this? Like,
a good example would be like if he'd like in this head coaching aspect, he's like Pat Riley.
Yeah.
He's Pat Riley to the young
bucks.
For the young framework that you need. Like Pat, like he's knows what to do in these situations to get the best out of you.
Because it's like, I don't know, like where you would start to try to market. Like, what do you talk about? Like, how do you rap? Like, Jermaine Dupri sets the blueprint for these kids who has the talent. He just helps them showcase it and like helps it blow up to where they should be, and like they're out of here on Zap.
Yeah, bro.
And him coming off of a group he was trying to work with, ABC, which was another bad creation, which he was working with them in the beginnings, trying to help them develop, and they just like didn't call him back, so they burned him. So Jermaine Dupri's now seeing these guys is like, oh
cool.
And he used Kris Kross to diss him.
Yeah.
Jump.
Crazy.
This Jump technically is a diss record.
I've never seen that in hip hop ever. Like young kids like dissing and beefing. Like
it ended up turning into like some real beef after this. But as far as on record, Jump was the first shot thrown.
Yeah. On wax. I didn't even know Jump was even like that.
If you like technically speaking, Jump is a diss record.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Really get that.
And this isn't the first. This isn't the first go around where you do have young people in hip hop. You do have the notorious Chi Ali.
Yep.
But we're not. We're not at this level.
No.
And this is the best example that I like using for Kris Kross, just because it kind of ties in. But around this time, like the second most popular black act in America is Steve Urkel.
Yeah.
Steve Urkel dressed a certain way.
Yeah.
But no one out there is dressing
They
like
not trying
Steve.
to. They ain't
They
trying
think
to dress
he's
like
funny.
Steve. Yeah.
They think he's cool.
Right.
But they ain't dressing like
Nah.
him. They wanted to dress like Kris Kross.
Kris Kross had America wearing their clothes backwards. Period.
I mean, when you think about the 90s, that's one, like you've seen those characters like Looney Tunes.
Yep, the
with
shirt.
Crisscrossed.
Yep.
Because it's such an iconic thing of the 90s. It ended up being like a staple. Like when you think of a 90s style, you could say Kris Kross was that era. There was like an era of that.
Yeah, from the early 90s. I mean, that, and the reason, I chose this album, in truth, is Jump is the first rap song I remember hearing ever.
Yeah.
It's the first song
That's
I can
crazy.
vividly remember seeing the video on TV. I might have been like 4, but I vividly remember seeing this video and not knowing what to do, because I'm like 4, but I'm just seeing and hearing this, and they saying jump, so I'm jumping.
That beat is crazy.
I'm just jumping.
The little
They're jumping. They say jump, I'm jumping. Like there's somewhere in my parents' house, there's a home video of me watching this video going crazy.
Oh, you got to submit it. I got to use this as a clip.
If I ever find it somewhere, trust me, I'm throwing it on my social media, because when I say it, people don't even believe me. I'm telling y'all, there's a video of it, but I remember seeing that video as a toddler. Like seriously,
It's crazy what certain songs do. You like my. It sucks it's not this genre, because it's kind of like hip hop reggae, but Eni Kamo's Here Comes the Hot Stepper. Here come the hot stepper. I remember hearing that and be like, yo, this is cool.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, but like
not knowing
like Ali,
was,
like I don't know what's going on, but it's beating rhythmical, like
Right.
it's cool.
Mine was All I Want to Do Was a Zoom Zoom.
Oh,
okay,
Rex
Rump
Effects,
Shaker.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was my first beat. That
Right,
I was
that you
like,
can vividly remember hearing as a kid. So as far as rap goes, Jump was the one.
Yeah.
And it's just from
Did
that
you follow
point on.
them after that, or did you just kind of like?
So like when I got, just the Jump video, that was, again, I was a toddler when it came out. But as far as, I want to say maybe by the time I was like 7 or 8, they came back with their next albums. So by then, I was like, oh yeah, that's. And then my older cousin was like, yeah, they made that song Jump. Remember you used to like that when you was a kid, this, that, and the third. So I kind of put that together. Connected. I might have been like 8 or 9 when I figured that part out, but as far as like diving into this album fully, I might have been in high school. Yeah. But my very, very, very first memory, I might have been like 4 years old. Just and then not just this video, but they were in the Jam video, Michael Jackson. Because when I'm a little kid, Michael Jackson's everything.
Yeah. So Michael Jackson asked them to be part of their tour on the
Dangerous tour. Yep. So he took them on some of the dates.
They're gone at this point.
Yeah, that's it. It's the jetpack. That's the jetpack, baby.
So you drop this album, and you're opening for Michael Jackson.
And then you're on a cameo with Heavy D and Michael Jackson.
Goodbye.
Family Matters, all that.
Living Color.
They were the thing. I mean, in Living Color, the episode they perform, the entire cast is sitting there with their shirts on backwards. Yeah. These adults.
Like very iconic.
That's just how revolutionary and that's how hard they hit when they came out. It was a bomb.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, we was talking about Atlanta, they used to talk about Outkast or Goody Mob as far as being the first ones. Kris Kross was first, but they blew up so large, you almost don't even know they're from Atlanta.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you almost don't even know. Like, honestly, when I was a kid, we're going to talk about the album cover. I thought they were from New York.
Yeah. It's hard to tell where they're really. It looks more New York.
I thought they were from New York because in the Jump video, they're wearing Yankees gear and Knicks gear.
Right.
So I'm thinking they're from New York.
That's true. Yeah. Very true.
So I didn't know they were from Atlanta until I was like in high school. You know what I mean? Crazy. So, but yeah, that's why I picked this album. It's just that song is just childhood for me, and it just takes me back to that moment of just being free as a kid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
What a great time to be around during that time too, in the early 90s of hip hop. We're talking about golden age hip hop here, that these kids were a part of, and they did it so confidently. Like, they had so much swag to this. Like,
they believed who they were. You know what I mean? Like Jermaine said, they were stars before they were anybody.
Before that,
that's just what it was.
And to put over the idea that wearing clothes backwards is cool has to come with a lot of confidence.
Oh, yes.
Like even harping on the Steve Urkel thing where Steve dressed a certain style. These kids dressed a certain style, but they didn't look goofy doing it. They actually put it over on like this is how this is what we do. This is our style.
Yep.
To then carries over.
Yep.
Then it becomes trendy.
You put that in a Michael Jackson tour, everyone's going to be dressing like that in the next day.
That's it.
You're gone.
It was gone.
That was it.
They also featured on Run DMC's Down with the King, TLC's Hot to the Back.
Head to the Back, yeah.
Head to the Back, yeah. Featured on NBC's sitcom A Different World.
Mm-hmm.
What else? The cameoed on the big screen, 1993's thriller comedy Who's the Man? These kids were everywhere.
Yeah.
Infectious.
From 92 to 94, you couldn't escape Kris Kross.
And, I think, were they on Kid and Play or something? Am I mistaken on that?
I House Party?
Was it House
That
Party?
was Immature.
Was it Immature?
Immature.
Okay. I was like, I was wondering which was it.
But funny you mentioned Immature, though, because this movement, them blowing up, it spawned a youth movement in hip-hop.
Oh, yeah.
Where you started to see Immature,
groups,
you know what I mean, the youngsters, you know what I mean, all these younger kids coming out, Soul for Real and High Five and like Tevin Campbell and Shaheem, like it was a youth
all
movement.
The way to Usher,
like it was just a large youth movement in the 90s, and it really spawned from Kris Kross. Like you said, Chi Ali was before them, but Kris Kross were the ones to really blow up with it.
And because Chi Ali was more like covert. He didn't really end up doing much because then I remember he got into some trouble too as well.
But then you have to say Lil Bow Wow, Lil Romeo.
Oh yeah, later, absolutely. Basically Jermaine took his formula with Kris Kross and basically redid it again with Bow Wow. Just
go littler.
You know what I mean? He just packaged it up.
He said that. He was like, he was after Kris Kross. I didn't want
to do Kids no more.
Like,
it was Snoop that got him to do it. It was because he signed to Death Row at like 6. You don't want no kid around Suge Knight and fucking Dog Pound.
6-year-old signee to Death Row.
You know what I mean? So he ain't no business running around with fucking Crips and Bloods at 6 years old. Lil Bow Wow was
sick at a young age.
Seriously.
He was sick.
But he was around all of that at 6, 7 years old. So Snoop was like, yo, Jermaine, we know what you did with Kris Kross.
Yeah.
Take him. Do what you got to do with him.
Because nowadays, do we see like young acts like this nowadays?
Not like this. We're not like 12, 13.
No, they're on YouTube, like unboxing stuff.
Yeah.
Not rapping.
Not like rapping. Nah.
They're not in the trenches. It's easier to make money as a kid doing YouTube.
Yeah, seriously.
Safer, not signed to death row.
Yep. Right. Seriously.
Not to meet Suge.
Yep. Yeah.
Don't have to meet Suge.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. You sounded bad boy now.
Oh, Lord.
Man.
But yeah, like that was, they started a whole youth movement in the 90s.
Damn, dude. I guess I'll ask style wise when you hear these guys, Mac Daddy,
Man.
or like,
it's kind of hard to like try to decipher a style that when you know it's predominantly written by Jermaine Dupri.
Right.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, because he says he wrote every word.
What I can say though, this is, and I'm gonna take a lot of the characteristics that I like saying about Slick Rick.
Yeah.
It's confidence first and foremost. It's for you to look at these lyrics and put emphasis and believe it, and at least make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
And they definitely did it on both sides of them because
they did like what Drake does now, but like way young did it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I mean, these kids were like 13.
Yeah.
And you got, the two of them, like Mac Daddy, his style was a little more like aggressive.
Yeah.
Whereas Daddy Mac was the more smooth, laid back one.
I see that
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think Jermaine might have looked at them and formulated that when he was writing for them.
Yeah.
Kind of in their personalities. I mean, he said like he was driving around because really trying to get to know them and their style. He said these kids, they were obsessed with Ice Cube. He said they were obsessed. They knew every word to America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
They knew every word to Death Certificate.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, these are some little badass boys in the hood.
Yeah.
That's what he made. That's what got him the title for the song "Little Boys in the Hood."
Yeah.
Because that's just what they represented. But also from a style standpoint, Jermaine Dupri was on a T.I. He had a podcast at one point, and they were talking about how he developed his artists. And T.I. basically was like, what you did was you saw something that worked and then flipped and put a spin on it.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, with Kris Kross, they were like the kid version of DOS Effects.
Yeah.
And he was like, and then you had Escape, they were the female Jodeci, and like and like the Brat was like the female Snoop. So you saw something, and then Jermaine was like, yeah. He was like, that's basically what it was. Like, there was something that was there, and he basically did a different version of it.
And to even build on that too, that let's even start from just music in general to see where these young 80s icons start. You have, New Kids on the Block, even
New Edition.
This may be around the same time, but Color Me Bad starts to come out. So you just have young teenage acts come out. But even before that, New Edition was around.
Yep.
This is where you have, okay, we can do the young, the black ensemble, but let's do it with rap.
Yep.
You didn't see it. You didn't see that till this time with Kris Kross on the main, with under the limelight.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, as far as like more recent acts that are young, I would think like Juice WRLD's, maybe XXXTentacion, where like they're kind of young.
Yeah, they come out like the youngest one I can think of that I heard like for the first time was like when I first heard Joey Badass. He was
Joey Badass.
He was 17.
Yeah.
So what I mean? That's kind of the youngest you'll kind of see somebody now.
But
17,
we're talking
18.
about like 12.
But 12, 13, you don't really see that anymore.
Because Lil Wayne was
16.
Yeah, 16.
You know what I mean?
This is still
that still predates that. Like these are legit 13, barely teenagers.
not as little.
You know what I mean? Like when Bow Wow came out, he was 13.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's like 13.
A little different category.
Yeah, it's a little younger than that. Like we don't really see that anymore.
The littlest is Little Romeo, right? He was only
I think he was 12 or 11.
12.
He was 11 or 12. Yeah. So it's like
who's going to be the JonBenet Ramsey of hip hop? Who's going to be younger than that?
the kindergarten rapper.
I don't know if that's possible, but if it is, that'd be nuts.
Funny we mentioned though, but Bow Wow, the first time he ever was on TV, he was on Arsenio. He was 6. He closed out Arsenio Hall. He hadn't had a deal yet.
So
he had just got the death row,
of it.
but that's you could YouTube it. The very first time he's on TV, he's closing an episode of Arsenio rapping.
And then Kris Kross did survive the Apollo Theater, am I right? Yeah, they did. They did Showtime at the Apollo. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's tough to do, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Lauryn Hill got booed off that thing.
Sure did. Yeah. I mean, but Kris Kross, they just had it, man. And from, like I said, they spit, they followed that direction, but it really was all about their presence.
Yeah.
That's really what made them, and that is still hip hop.
What do we do in the instance of where we know someone predominantly gets their stuff written by somebody else, but I think we're all kind of in agreement here where it's kind of like, dude, you still have to recite these lyrics.
You gotta deliver it.
You still have to deliver it, because like the thing is, and I was thinking about this, Mark, as I was showing you guys, like, you know, a new written verse I have. Okay, great. It's written to the way I want it to be. Excellent. Okay, but you still got to execute that now and make it sound the way you're envisioning it.
Exactly.
Which is a whole other thing. So, yeah, you're right to that point. Like, you do have to deliver. That's just as important as well as being able to write. That's very important. I give them a little bit more slack because they're kids.
They're 13,
yeah,
right.
So I give them a little slack, but yeah.
And
they delivered it.
And not for nothing, it's not like they're like, I'm the best MC out here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
They're not claiming.
That's when it's different.
Yeah, they're not claiming stuff.
Yeah,
like
if you
that.
got, having ghostwriters and people write your stuff and delivering, like, that's the goal is making a song and making a good song.
Right, correct.
So if the goal is just to make a good song, have all the writers you want.
KRS said, man, I don't care if your mom wrote it.
Seriously.
He goes, if you deliver it, man.
That's it. It's
good.
yours.
Yeah, it's good.
It's the difference is when you claiming I'm the best MC. Now that's where we got a problem.
Yeah, that's a little different.
That's different. But if you just out here making your money, making your music, and folks is loving it, cool.
I was thinking about this. I was like, who would they be like? You know, if I were to compare them to any other characters or heroes or athletes, what I came up with was they're like the Hardy Boys to me. You know, with the high energy, charismatic,
definitely,
beloved,
the Hardy Boys,
for bringing like this fresh, youthful vibe. That's somebody I would say that
girls like them.
Yeah, and they have this playful confidence about them. So like to me, that's like kind of what they represent, like, or kind of what they were early on at a young age to have that.
If they were twins, though, dude, it would have been done.
Oh God!
If they were identical twins, it would have been done.
I mean, it's already crazy that both their names are Chris.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they both their names are Chris. That was already crazy.
The chemistry was there. Like that's for sure.
Oh, they were real friends.
Yeah, they were real friends. And the thing is that's cool is like as they grew up and they put out the other album like The Bomb and then something Young, Fresh, Dangerous. Those albums were actually pretty dope.
Yeah,
I think they were just missing a hit that was kind of more of a hit.
Correct.
But if they had that on those two albums,
those probably would have done just as well.
Yeah, they would have done just as well because I think they still got gold. Still, the second one went platinum still, but just not as much. Like quadruple platinum,
right?
But the third one went gold, right? So it wasn't bad.
No,
but it's just like
in the face of comparison, and you're chasing this high of jump,
right?
And you don't want to force anything on the creative side, but are you going to strike lightning twice? It happens to some.
Yeah.
That's hard.
It doesn't
to do.
happen to a
That's
lot
hard
of people.
To do.
Yeah. And then I think at that point, then there became some strain in between the relationship and wanting to do their solo thing,
right?
Putting time and effort into like their ventures. I think one became like a marketer. I believe that was Chris Smith.
Yes.
And then Kelly is the one that started a label and then released a solo album, but under you can only get it like through his website, so it wasn't like really put out there. It's funny because they could have both used each other, like marketer with the label. Like
seriously.
But
if only I had a marketer. If only I knew a guy who made a label.
Yeah.
I thought that they were still dope, like all the way up to their last performance in 2013.
Yep,
like,
they reunited for the So Def 20th anniversary.
People were thinking like that was going to be the ignition to like start
a comeback. And then Chris Kelly, he passed like right after that.
Yeah,
he passed like right after that. It might have been some months later.
And that's hard once you got a member like your partner.
Oh yeah, that's
hard.
it.
It's hard to recreate that.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
After a partner dies like that.
It's one thing if it's 5 of y'all or 4 of you, but with 2, you need both.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. But like definitely an indelible mark no matter what you say about these guys. Like, they made their mark and place in hip-hop history.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, it's hard to not mention Kris Kross, like, when you talk about history of hip-hop and just the like, this song,
the expansion of it.
Yeah.
You can't, well, I mean, let's just keep it real. Kendrick just did the Super Bowl.
Right.
That doesn't happen without Kris Kross. Like, seriously.
Damn.
Like, you need those type of foundational
really
pieces that
break
blow
the
up.
barriers,
You have to have that. You just do.
Yeah.
You have, like, hip hop does not become the mainstream juggernaut it became without records like Totally Krossed Out.
The timeline's super important because you're looking at future events that don't get to happen because of things that happened back in the past. I mean,
because all these big juggernaut of hits have to keep busting that door down until we get to the point.
Each hit needs its next one. Like like Run DMC.
Right.
Run DMC goes to Will Smith. Even between that, Kool Moe Dee, everyone needed somebody to go forward. TLC, TLC in a sense needs Snoop Dogg, which needs Tupac.
Yes.
It's like, dude, this is hip. It all comes back to the framework on this linear thing of hip hop, to where everyone needs each other. They're like separate factions for the same army, and this is the same struggle.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know how we got to that point, but that's a sick ass point.
It's real.
Going on to the album cover now. This album cover, man, iconic as well, dude. Like, it's one of the dopest album covers.
Just look at it.
In the 90s. Like, everything is crisscrossed. Like, from the cross
literally
to their clothes to the name. Let me describe it for those. There's Kris written upside down. And then on the other side of it, parallel, is Kross written right side up. The two kids are standing facing, like, you're looking at their backs, but their clothes are backwards. I don't know how I'm describing this if it's working. Then there's a big cross in the middle with the title Krossed Out, but it's also inverted. So there's it's
totally frontwards and backwards.
Totally, frontwards and backwards. Everything's just like vice versa, like a mirror. They're wearing sagging jeans, which is a style in the 90s, with some dope kicks, some Jordans. Then you have Chris Smith on the right. He's wearing the Knicks jersey backwards. And then Chris Kelly, and then he's wearing the Yankee jersey backwards, the black Yankee jersey, which is sick. Man, these kids, they got it, man.
Yeah, Chris Kelly, he got on some Ewings.
Ooh.
Yeah. He got on some Ewings.
That's dope.
I can't tell what shoes Chris Smith got on, but yeah.
And then the silhouette of the K's inverted to each other, too.
Yeah,
those
that's
are
right.
Ks,
Two Ks, that was dope, too. And then it's a dope background. They're just like looking over a hill, and it's like a sunset, like it's going down. So it's a dope color scheme as well. It makes it pop. What do you guys? How do you guys tie this in with the album? From the title to the album cover, like,
it's a big risk to face away from the camera making an album like this.
Yes,
this is like one of those moments where I'm just like, I don't know if anyone's been looked deliberately behind them.
True.
Like, this is deliberate. I've seen artistic ways of like people looking away into a view.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is like deliberate looking away, knowing that the camera's back behind them.
Right.
So, against the grain, against, the mainstream.
But even the way they stand. But then you look at the back cover. See, the back cover, you see them in the front.
Okay, so
the back cover, you actually see their faces.
Yes.
On the back cover. So it's the same look. You see their faces.
So that's one of my great ideas. Like, we need a website that has all the cover art.
Yeah.
Like, on a website, that has all that.
Yeah, because on the back cover, you see them. You actually do see their faces on the back cover.
A little payoff for when you're at the Sam Goody,
right? Sam Goody, Tower Records.
When you're looking at these at the warehouse, you turn it around.
You see their faces.
So that's dope, because we were just talking about that too on the Loonies podcast. You were on the Loose podcast on the episode we covered. Like, how they play on the cover art for the backside, because not a lot of artists do that.
Yeah, there's been plenty of times where I've seen the album art on the back black,
just
white font,
regular,
just barcodes,
nothing.
This is cool.
But then they actually use the back cover too. Like, that's great.
And put the lyrics back on the freaking
please.
There's
because sometimes there's some parts that you can't really make out.
And you're just making stuff up and like half the country thinks it's one thing until like it gets squared away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
On what was that lyric show on MTV?
We need the lyrics, please.
What was that lyric show on MTV where
lyric show on MTV?
they like where they would say what karaoke?
Yeah,
say what karaoke would have like certain rap songs. They would have the lyrics, but we'd have to wait.
Yep.
Anything else that we could tie this into?
I mean, even just the way they standing, like they look like they know we them dudes.
With the hands in the
Like,
hands backwards
dudes.
in the front.
Like we them dudes. Like they just look like stars.
Yeah.
Even when you don't see their face.
Yeah. It's crazy. Everything is positioned too, because even the hands are deliberately placed back like that, still positioned as if they're in the front.
They have the Macaulay Culkin, it juice. You know what I mean?
They just had it, man.
Like Macaulay Culkin could do anything. At his young age, he was a star.
Home Alone and Three Ninjas meet rap in Kris Kross.
Oh dang. 3 ninjas?
Three
That's
ninjas?
tight.
Oh man.
That's tight.
But the other thing with the backwards clothes, particularly with the pants, because they were trying to figure out something to make themselves stand out. They came up with wearing their clothes backwards, but they were like, it's gonna kind of fit funny, it's gonna look funny. But then they said, well, we just gotta buy them 2-3 sizes too big. That's how it's gonna work. Yeah. So that's when they came up with that, and they actually Left Eye from TLC kind of helped with Jermaine, because she was living with Jermaine Dupri at the time. Yeah. Kind of helped formulate what they had going on. And actually, Jermaine, he had TLC too with Kris Kross, but at the time he might have been like 19. He said, I didn't think I could handle both groups, so he let TLC.
Too much
so he let TLC go, because he was like, I can't. He said he didn't believe that he could manage both groups.
Yeah. That's a good call. I mean,
that's a tough one.
He says the one. He says because they always ask what's his biggest regret in his career. He said that I let TLC go.
Well, I heard this is another thing too. This is kind of more like behind the scenes, I guess. But with Chris Kelly, like he was actually like a ladies' man, dude, and some women might have been because they're young.
Yeah.
So some women, like it's word that it's out there that Jada Pinkett Smith.
Might have tried something with him.
Might have tried something with them.
Oh damn!
And I think Chili from TLC.
Insert the crying Will Smith meme.
Oh damn!
Crying Will Smith.
Yeah, he's been crying. What was it? What's the phrase?
Oh my God. Entanglement.
The entanglement.
No, well, Will Smith has been worrying about Pac since.
Oh yeah, that's a dumb one. Yeah,
she still hasn't broke up with Pac.
She posted his letter or something.
She still hasn't broken up with Pac.
She's still in a relationship with Pac.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Wrote the song a long time ago.
94.
Yeah.
But that's something that's kind of alleged to where.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, so that's been that's from some people who are pretty close in their circles. So,
that's wild.
Like one of the DJs, I think for them, I think brought that out to light. Wow. So, but like, yeah, man, they definitely had the charisma. This album cover is iconic.
We just get girls
with all the cross.
They say it.
Yeah.
He said we don't do nothing. We just get girls and chill.
Yeah.
You guys are influencers before influencers.
So if you guys haven't watched the podcast before, this is the point when we transition and we go into 3 songs that we liked out of the album, and then we dissect it. We read the lyrics, and we just bring out anything that we get from it. And then, of course, if you guys have any input or anything that you guys want to add to it, leave it in the comments. Like, we're still looking at that. Obviously, this is a live conversation going on, so the conversation continues. So please do that. The 3 songs that we landed on were Jump. Of course, we had to put that one on there, right?
Yep.
Warm It Up is the second one we chose. And then the third one we went with was I Miss the Bus. Mm-hmm. So those are the 3 tracks that we went with.
My only request is that I get first verse on Jump.
Oh, sure, man. Go ahead. You can handle that one.
So
Jump.
Now before we get into Jump, so on the intro, they're actually doing like an interview.
Yeah.
Right? And they were like, yeah, we're sitting here with the R&B group Kris Kross. We're not an R&B group, first of all.
That intro is important.
We're a rap group. And he was like, yeah, so what's going on with these baggy jeans? Like, totally crossed out look, homie, He said, yeah, well, everybody ever told you I look like ABC? It's like, ABC? That's another bad idea, buddy. It's another one of your bad ideas.
And the group is called A Bad Creation.
Another bad creation. So they're dissing them already in the intro.
Yeah, in the intro.
And he's like, you really want to know how we feel? Just go to the next song.
Yeah.
And then that's when the beat drops. And then out the gate, they come with it. So like I said, Jump as big as a hit it is actually they diss ABC a few times, which we'll point out all the disses when we go over the lyrics. But yeah, so it goes, so it drops and then Mac Daddy drops. Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad. Already, that's the first diss right there. Another bad little fad. Yeah. So that's the first ABC diss right there. Don't try to compare us to another bad little fad. I'm the Mac and I'm bad, giving you something that you never had. I make you bump, hump, wiggle, and shake your rump, cause I be kicking the flavor that makes you wanna jump. How high? Real high, cause I'm just so fly. A young, lovable, huggable type of guy. And everything is to the back with a little slack, cause inside out is wiggity, 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 whack.
Talking about their clothes being back,
so that's,
with the slack, with the pants.
So that's another ABC diss because
you catch the adolescence of real high.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
the John Connor Terminator 2.
That's true.
And then that's another ABC diss when he said, because inside out is wiggity, 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 whack, because ABC wore their clothes inside out. They had this. There's like this picture of them.
Video,
and then
there's a scene where the shorts.
Their shorts were inside out, so they dissing how they was dressing. I come stumping with something pumping to keep you jumping. R&B rappers bull crapping what I'm dumping and nothing stuff.
That was a part of their style too, ABC, because they were run by the guy from Bell.
Michael Bivins.
Yeah. So he was trying to create this R&B rap with them.
Yep.
So that
kind of like a kid version of like BBD.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it goes into that.
R&B rappers bull crap is what I'm dumping. Ain't nothing soft about Kris Kross. We all that. And so when they ask, do they rock? Say believe that.
Jump.
The Mac Dad'll make you
jump.
The Daddy Mac will make you
jump.
Kris Kross will make you
jump.
I
love my stuff knocking. I love it when the girlies be jocking. The DADDYMAC. Yeah, you know me. I got you jumping.
Can I stop right there?
Yeah.
That line, playing to OPP. Yeah,
correct.
You know me.
Correct.
But also too, this is cool because Tretch was also kind of tied in this because he was working with the kid groups themselves, but he was kind of. He saw it as they were taking like their style, like Naughty by Nature style, and him and Jermaine Dupri now had a beef.
They had an issue at that time for that.
They had a beef as well. So that's just another element to all this. So Tretch is also involved and roped in this as well.
Yeah, you know me. I got you jumping and bumping and pumping, moving all around. G. In the mix, I made MC step back. They tried to step up to the Mac and they got jacked. To the back, you'll be sporting the gear. Is that coincidental? Act like you know and don't be claiming that it's mental.
So that's another diss right there because so during that time with BBD and ABC, their whole thing was being mental. Like that was like their like flavor they was going with, just mental. So they like don't be claiming that it's mental. They dissing them right there.
Two little kids with the flow you ain't ever heard. Ain't nothing fake and you can understand every word. Word? Haha. As you listen to my cool, smooth melody, the Daddy Mac makes you JUMP. Jump. And being kids calling yourself the Mac Daddy and the Daddy Mac, bro.
Yeah.
They felt themselves.
That's a lot of weight.
Like they really felt like they was them dudes.
There was during this time too, this is when Married with Children was out.
Mac Dad'll make you.
And the younger son, he went by this rap persona.
Oh,
I think
Bud
it was
Bundy's.
it's like Daddy Mac or Grandmaster
B. Grandmaster B.
It also kind of had the look of this.
Okay.
Of this as well. So I just want to give that a shout out.
That's funny.
The Grandmaster B will make you. The Mac Dad'll make you. Grandmaster B. That Mac will make you.
Jump.
Now the formalities of this and that is that Kris Kross ain't coming off whack. And for all y'all suckers that don't know, check it out. Some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. But some of them try to rhyme, but they can't rhyme like this. And then after that, it's just miggity Mac Daddy.
He's on the miggity Mac
Daddy.
The miggity
And that's where you hear a lot of the Dawes effectsness to them as well. Yeah.
Yep, the whole Iggity thing.
Yeah. So you get that. But then you also, you can hear some of Tretch in there.
Beat's so infectious.
Oh,
Beat is crazy. That's the rocket ship. You know, these are the astronauts. That's the rocket ship.
And the inspiration he took two things as far as the inspiration to make this beat. First, how much they love Ice Cube. So that's why he sampled Funky Worm to give it that kind of that West Coast feel to it.
I can hear that.
But then he was like, he took it to the label and they still said something was missing. So he's like, dang, what's missing? He's like, well, we got the West Coast part. He said, well, they kids. Then that's when it just light bulb went off. He sampled I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Just one little part.
So that's another thing why Trench had a problem with it, because they sampled that for OD.
Exactly. Yep. So so that was another thing. So he put that last little piece in there, and boom, it was perfect.
And legendary.
Classic.
One of those big tracks, you know.
Oh, huge.
We've been talking about this, I think, for the last couple episodes. This is one of those.
Yeah, it's one of them ones.
Definitely one of those. All right, so we move on. Just an honorable mention, the little Boys in the Hood. That was, you know, a play of actually being those boys, you know, and talking a little bit about, you know, the hood and stuff. Warm It Up is where we land. Warm It Up was another single of theirs as well.
It's a smash.
Yeah, it reached number 13 on the Billboard Hot 100. So yeah, it was definitely another one that was out of here. One of the things I would like to mention is because they're young and they're kids, and Jermaine Dupri, you know, wrote most of the material. There's not a whole lot of depth per se, but it's rocking though. It's party, like it's up, it's hype, and I do appreciate like the fact that when they put out these music videos, it really brings it like, really brings it like to life, because as I'm just reading the lyrics, I'm like, okay, it's not too crazy. There's nothing like that blowing me away or nothing. But when you see the video and you experience it, then you get it. You're like, oh, okay, I see. So they really bring it home, like, and it takes all of the imagery, everything you see, and you get it once you see it. But just like
total package.
If you're just reading it, you're not gonna be like,
this is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, but you have to hear it all together. You know, that's
to even just have two kids be down to like persevere like grown ass adults.
Yeah,
actually like see the vision in this, and like
it's hard
because they could just bounce out and be like, no.
I mean, to focus like that like at a young age is hard.
That's mad discipline, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we start off with this one. Jermaine Dupri says a little something in the intro. And then we go to verse 1, Mac Daddy. So many times I heard you rhyme, but you can't touch this. I'm kicking the hype. I'm keeping the type of flow that makes you say you're too much Kris. So feel the fire of the one they call Mac Dad. The fire is what I pack, and what I pack is real bad. I'd like to grab a hold of your soul and never let go. Do the jump, do the hump, and say ho. Shout out to what you call
Digital Underground.
Digital Underground.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a whole thing in itself too. That was dope group. Now that's the state of mind that I'm in. With rhyme after rhyme, I win. The Mac, known for the breaking them off of something. They're laying in a better funk, keeping their speakers pumping. I'm making a Mac. Came to get them warm. And my pants to the back. That's everybody. Everyday uniform. You little cream puff Mac Daddy wannabe. Keep dreaming, because a Mac you'll never be. So all y'all with the Dr. Seuss riddles, you could get the finger, the middle. Dang.
Warm it up, Kris.
I'm about to.
Warm it up, Kris.
Because that's what I was born to do.
Warm it up, Kris.
I'm about to.
Warm it up, Kris.
Because that's what I was born to do. Yeah. Like, see, the hooks was just, that's how they got you.
They got you with
the
hook.
Hooks were just.
And then they, like, you see
had
the
to
music
say
video, you're brought in because you see the swag, you see them stomping and dancing.
A little nod to the golden era with the warm it up.
Yeah.
I caught you on the scope. Peeping out my rhymes that this is dope. And for you, there's no hope. My name is what? Daddy Mac, baby. Totally Krossed Out. Catching all the ladies. At the age I be, I should be playing with toys. Instead, I put my head into making you make noise. That's how I kick it. That's my everyday life. And I rehearse it to keep it as sharp as the knife, man. I'm the wrong brothers for suckers to be messing with. Because when I put the mic in my hand, I start wrecking it. They call me D-A-double-D-Y-M-A-C. There ain't no other brother bad as me. When I let go something from the ghetto, word, a little brother kicking rhymes like you've never ever heard. Daddy of them all, shooting the gift like a gun, showing suckers how it's done.
Warm it up, Kris. I'm about to. Warm it up, Kris. That's what I was born to do. Warm it up, Kris. I'm about to. Warm it up, Kris. That's what I was born to do. Now, I like how they did this third verse, because they basically just took the first half of Mac Daddy's verse and then the second half of Daddy Mac's verse, and then they just put it together.
Copy and paste.
It was just a dope little way to flip it. So many times I've heard rhyme, but you can't touch this. I'm kicking the type of flow that makes you say it too much, Kris. So I feel the fire from the one they call the Mac Dad. The fire's what I pack, and what I pack is real bad. I like to grab a hold of your soul and never let go. Do the jump, do the hump, and say ho. And that's the rhyme I'm in. With rhyme after rhyme I rim. I'm a come wrong brother for suckers to be messing with, because when I put the mic in my hand, I start wrecking it. They call me the DADYMAC. They ain't another brother bad as me. When I let go, something from the ghetto. Word, a little brother kicking rounds like you never ever heard. Daddy of them all, shooting a gift like a gun. Kris Kross, show him how it's done. Like
repetitive chorus, nice bridge.
Mm-hmm. Like this is songwriting.
Yeah, it's songwriting.
See, that's the
right
thing.
out
like,
of the playbook.
Like you go from like there's rapping and then there's songwriting.
Right.
Like the reason Kris Kross Blue was great songwriting from Jermaine.
Yeah, but it's cool because as they progress in their other albums, they start going more into the writing.
Oh, they start spitting.
And that's when it's like, oh dang, okay, cool. Now it's
these
like they're
kids can
actually
rap.
opening up about their own stories.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gets overlooked because of like they're chasing that success of this first one from jump.
And this is when it gets really real. Talking about the stuff that they got to suffer from. I miss the bus.
I mean, what kid can't relate to that? What kid
talking about
missed the bus before?
Getting in tap with your audience.
Yeah, this is them getting real relatable to their demographic. You know what I mean? The struggles of being a kid missing the bus.
Yeah. This is actually the real
This is like a real issue.
You know what I mean? We've all been there, man.
Yeah. We go on to the first verse. Daddy Mac, I went to the bed late, but I didn't think late would affect me. Early came around, then late wouldn't let me. Wake up, so I could get dressed. I guess my body was mad because I didn't get no rest. And when I finally did awake, it was 7:45. Jumped in the shower when I knew I was late. Stepped out, put on my jeans and my Ewings, and said to myself, if I miss school, I'm ruined. That's dope little word bend there. But then he's also wearing the Ewings too on the front cover, so that's dope. But I ran down a hill in a rush. I ran downhill trying to catch the bus. Now I'm hoping to myself everything is cool. Standing on my block like a fool. For one, I'm all alone. And two, the bus is gone. Three, if I miss my school, then this weekend I'll be at home. Can somebody come real fast to my rescue? I'm stuck at the crib and I don't know what to do.
I missed the bus. I missed the bus.
Yeah, the hooks is really what pulls you in.
I missed the bus. And that's something I would never, ever do again.
Yeah, playful too. Yeah.
It's like, just you feel it, man. You feel bad for him.
I was up, he was up, but I laid back down thinking I could chill till the time came around, and that did. He did, but a little too long, because when I woke up, the bus was gone.
Damn.
I almost broke my neck trying to get out the door, and I chased the bus till my feet were sore on the tail, but I couldn't catch up. I guess it must have been my day for me to have bad luck, because I lost my lunch money, book bag busted, scuffed up my sneakers. Now I'm really disgusted.
Damn.
No, that's like
the worst possible day.
Like, you might as well say
running the triangle on a bad day.
This
was modern day Charlie Brown up in here. And when I got to school, it was the same old thing. Stepped in the class and the school bell rang. It was nothing I could do. I tried to explain, but the teacher treated me like I was playing a game. You lose. The day was a no-win. I never learned to miss my bus again.
Man.
From the soul.
Like you really feel bad
sneakers.
For him. Lost his lunch money. Missed the bus. Damn.
Mom left him. That wasn't in the lyrics. Could have been.
Could have been.
Yeah.
It's a... This is at least one song that they needed to have on this album.
Yes.
Because everything is like above a lot of kids' salary brackets.
Yes.
Right.
Can't afford that kind of lifestyle Kris Kross has.
Right.
This
Kris
is something
Kross
more relatable now.
Yes, this is something that 9 and 10-year-olds can relate to.
If I just emancipate and I could just be my own adult, I could be like Kris Kross.
Yeah, and that's something too that I was kind of looking for in this album was more like relatable things to their age group and like kind of being more real. They had a little bit of that in the little
Boys in the Hood.
You know, I was kind of looking for more of that in this. But nonetheless, like, you know, this album was still very successful. And I think largely due to Jump bringing everybody in. But that was something that I think, if anything, I could add. Like, if they had more of that, that would have been kind of cool to have more of like the storytelling from their perspective. Because
there's kids.
Yeah, because they're straight up kids. You know, that, and I think at that time it may have worked too, because this is the time when, like, you know, we have the rise of like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. Like kids, like that whole thing, there was a lot of attention there. So that might have worked in their favor as well. Something like that. But all in all, like, you know, we got a dope duo. Is that the full track here? Do we have another verse? That was it, huh?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was 2 verses. All in all, a dope duo that like made a big impact. Like, yeah, there you see the two, you see the whole gear, the crisscross and everything. That's like, yeah, it's hard to not remember that.
I mean, they hit like a bomb. I mean, even to the point where Nipsey Hussle, one of the first songs most people know from him is "Hustle in the House."
Yeah,
it samples Jump. You know what I mean? Like because he, you know, loved that song and was like, I wanted to do a song that sampled it.
Damn.
He said, because I remember loving that song as a kid. So like that's
crazy.
That's how impactful they were, to the point where if you were around there during that time, you remember Kris Kross.
Yeah.
You just remember it. It's like Hammer. It's like Vanilla Ice. It's like when Nelly came out. It's certain artists in hip hop, you know, that went super, super pop.
Yeah.
That you just, whether you liked it, didn't like it, whatever, you remember it.
They broke through that mainstream.
Yeah, that's for sure. All in all, like taking the whole album and everything like that, you know, what are our final takeaways on something like this project?
One of the genesis of the hip hop youth movement, showing you that it can be successful, showing you that, hey, look, these kids can rap at a certain level, make it seem adult to a certain extent, and have it pay off like crazy.
Big time.
And it did pay off for sure.
Within Kris Kross is also the promise of youth.
Yeah.
They're young at this point and they still have more to go. The possibilities emerge out of this album to where there's questions of what else do they got left? I mean, how do you, like, which goes to their consequence too, because how are you going to top 4X Platinum?
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard
That
to do.
means you're going to have to find something by fact. You have to find something bigger than Jump.
Yeah.
I think, you know, that will be like the next prodigy would be somebody young like that. Like we're talking about like Michael Jackson kid young.
Yeah.
But in the hip hop sphere, like if we find somebody like that we witness from age 5 till like freaking to their old, that would be
30 or 40.
That would be a whole different thing we've never seen.
That we've never seen. Somebody that literally started from like 9 years old or 8 years old to go from teenage to adult to older adult and succeed at every level. That we've never seen in hip hop.
You're 30 years in the rap game. What are you gonna do now? I was like, well, I'm 38. I'm cool.
Right.
I can rap a little bit more.
Like, seriously. 30 years in the game and he's 38 years old.
Record execs, whatever little kid you guys are looking for, just call him Little Kendrick or Little Lamar.
A little Cole.
Yeah, Little Cole.
Little Cole.
Little Cole. Dang, a rebirth of Cole? That's the only way he comes back? Is a rebirth?
Gotta be something. It's gotta have something.
Does Kendrick have kids?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. There's two.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that would be something different.
We've never seen.
Yeah, because like, you know, we've seen some prodigies that were young, but like I'm thinking
maybe junior. You're talking like juniors to the hip hop superiors too.
And that'd be kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but see, guys like this, like they Kris Kross, they make it seem possible.
Yes,
correct.
So that like without them, then I wouldn't have even thought that.
Correct.
Like, if I didn't have this group.
But we see that 13-year-olds can pop off.
Yeah, so it may be even possible for that.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
But yeah, final thoughts, Ali, on this? Do you have any?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, for me, Jump is the genesis of hip hop for me. It's literally where it starts. Again, not that I knew what the song was about, not that I knew the lyrics, but the memory of me seeing that video as a toddler, stayed with me forever. You know what I mean? And the fact that there was video evidence of it too makes it even better. But I do remember it looked like a freaking movie. Like the video was just everything. Iconic, it was just so much going on. And as a freaking 4-5-year-old, it's like, what am I looking at? But the song, the beat, they saying jump, you a kid, I'm a jump. Like, that's it. So for me, that's why I wanted to give them their flowers, because, you know, I call myself hip hop's godson, and the genesis of all of that is that song.
Yeah.
It's literally where all of that comes from. I mean, yeah, it's a little cool nickname I gave myself, but to me, it's, you know, a part of who I am, and that song is where it all starts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Beautifully said. So if you guys haven't listened to this album, we recommend it to check it out. Or if you guys have listened to this album, you know, let us know in the comments your guys' thought, your feedback, and, you know, let us know what tracks you liked, what tracks you didn't like, or just a little bit more about the Mac Daddy or Daddy Mac.
Or how much you disagree that Kris Kross isn't hip hop enough for you.
Okay.
We'll take your grievances too.
Yeah. You know, we know there's that.
It's all engagement.
Yeah. It's all engagement still.
Let's engage with you.
So feel free to leave a comment. But of course, we're trying to reach the 2,000 mark, so we need your help. If you guys could please like, share, subscribe, specifically subscribe. That would mean a great deal to us. We check the stats. They're not matching to what should be happening.
It's Kris Krossing.
You know, it's Kris Krossing right now. So we needed to like line up. You know, we needed to be parallel to what the stats say.
Stats are wiggity, 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 whack.
When they intersect, everything will jump up in terms of subscribership.
Yeah, we needed to jump.
Okay.
Wow. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Right now would be a good time, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for that. And we hope you guys have a good one. Mark, go ahead and let them have it.
To the MCs, if you drop a liggity, 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 like, or drop the mic, the miggity, miggity, miggity mic, drop a liggity, 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 like, because not subscribing is wiggity, 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 whack.
The Mac Dad will make you jump. Make you jump.
That's hip hop, so we'll make you jump.
Not to make you jump.
Don't ever compare us to another hip hop podcast.
Hey.
It won't last. We're going to show them that they're the outcast.